Hey, carnivores. Happy almost Merry Christmas. Yes, that's right. It is Merry frickin' Christmas. So, what are we doing? The eggnog explanation. Almost got you there. Okay, so here's the big thing, and I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. It's going to be two parts because I'm not going to waste your time with a whole video of waiting. So, on the weekends only, we're drinking eggnog with booze. After the weekends with Christmas, that goes away. But I want to also do it my way that I do my eggnog, that I started doing. And basically because I'll look at what is sold in the store, either container, whatever size of eggnog, and it's got so many chemicals in it. Eggnog, I'm going to show you how to make it. You're going to make it at home. And it'll probably be the only YouTube video you'll watch for how to make real, safe eggnog. And I'm going to get to that right now. So, I don't want to waste everybody's time, so let's just jump straight into it. But anyway, look at the eggnogs that you buy in the store. Look at the back of them. Look at the ingredients. Look at what's in them. And just go, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is a new age that we're living, where everybody's now getting more and more aware of what they're sticking in their bodies. To the point where they're actually saying, I'm not drinking that Coca-Cola. It's got traces of arsenic and cyanide in it. You use that for flavoring to make it taste like cherry? You might as well just make formaldehyde flavored. No, they're like, okay, we'll stop using it. We thought you people liked it. No. So, that being said, I start off with a tool time advertisement. Ninja blenders. So strong it'll chop your fingers off. Always make sure you put on the very Loctite space age bulletproof top. Make sure that you rinse out any residual water from the last time you washed it. Ninja. Because if it ain't Ninja, I don't know what else. Because I've had Oyster from back in the 80s. That was pretty good. Then it burnt out. Then I had gotten Kitchen Mate. That had crapped out in the first week. Then I had a Blender-Matic. That died in the first week. I brought that one back. Then I had another Oyster, whatever the hell. Ulcer, whatever the fuck they were called. Newer one. That one lasted for a while, and then the glass broke. And this one is a Ninja. It's a bigger container, and it's plastic. Blenders honestly should be made of plastic and not glass. But anyway, I am not sponsored by Ninja. I just figured I'd tell you guys that. Very simple and easy cleaning. That thing just plops on there. Easy peasy lemon squeeze me. Okay, so what are we using the blender for? I like to blend the mix together first before we really get into anything. Before we get into anything that makes sense. It's hard for me to talk these days because of what the type of president we are. I just have problems putting sentence words together and making sense of nothing, So, in case I trip over my eye tooth, it's because I'm, listening to asshat all day. Alright, so first thing we're going to need to do is get 5 eggs. Now, if you live on a farm or you have a farm nearby where you live, get free range eggs. And that way, if you don't have a farm nearby, get it this way. Oops. And it looks like I already accidentally cracked open an egg trying to open up the container. So put this guy over here. Stick this guy off to the side. And I fucked the pooch. So, I already fucked shit up. It's like this time, my friend, Corn Pop, Puff, Daddy, big old black guy, like nobody needed to know he was black, but I wanted to tell you he was. So You think I was hip? Him and I used to rob white kids down by the pool. Take their money. I like kids touching my legs. Makes me feel great and stuff. Yeah. This guy needs to take the wrong medication one night and never wake up. Anyway, so take 5 eggs. We're going to crack the eggs. Try not to crack them inside the container like I just did. And we're just going to drop them right into the blender. Normally you don't pour the egg yolk from your container, but it's what happens when the egg container is double layered and you're trying to get it open with your manly hands. Natural manly hands from birth. And you just carnivorally crush it. Anyway, we are using large grade A fresh brown eggs from Nettles. Free range, no added hormones, no antibiotics. Keep refrigerated or below 45 degrees. Coming out of Monroe, New Hampshire. Outdoor forage chickens. 100% vegetarian fed. That means that all these chickens were outside eating in the wild. That's what outdoor forage means. They were just ate whatever was outside. So either they ate bugs, worms, your neighbor, whatever the hell it was. So our first ingredient starts off like that. So let's crack these eggs in here. So now I put the yolks and the whites together because it's just a pain in the ass of keeping them separated. Doesn't make a frickin' difference. Try not to get shell in my blender. It's really annoying. Alright. I gotta stop yoking around. Be serious for once. Alright. Now you could add sugar to it. You could add a lot of sugar. You could add a little bit of sugar. You could add no sugar. It's all up to you how much sugar you want to add to it. I do a 1/4 cup of sugar, which for anybody who doesn't know what this is a measuring cup. It's not something racist this day and age. But 1/4 of the cup is really, really, really far down there. So I like to use is organic light brown sugar. Why? Because I have it in my house, and because brown sugar is basically what it is. It's a mix of organic cane sugar and molasses. So it's got the cane sugar, but the molasses gives it that nice brownness. Now, a lot of the things you'll notice when you buy store-bought eggnog is it will say coloring. They add a coloring to it. Well, here's the stupid thing, right? So I put in about 1/2 cup instead of 1/4, but that's fine. That's not going to kill anybody. So this is brown, right? So the company that makes the store-bought could put brown sugar in it to make it browner, but instead they use a chemical that is the same chemical that's put into your paint that goes on the exterior of your house or car. But hey, at least it keeps the paint good and it keeps your food brown, right? So we're going to add some brown sugar. Alright, that's 1/2 cup. Could do a 1/4 cup. I mean, I said 1/4 and I did 1/2, so there's half my brain cells. Now, I call things different things, obviously, because I'm different thingly. This I call a tablespoon. Why? Because it's always on our table and we use it for everything. Everybody else calls them soup spoons, they call them spoons. I call it a tablespoon. It's on the fucking table. It's a tablespoon, alright? Now, I take my blue rock dust. Okay, this is a special blend of Himalayan salt and blue rock cocaine. Okay, so that's how I got this. And I'm going to carefully do a little bit of this because otherwise I'm going to be, on my way to the White House soon. Okay. Other than the stuff that was on my hands, it's all nice and grounded onto the spoon. And we dump that into there. What is the blue salt? It is spirulia. It's the hell is it? It is blue spirulina, and it's like a type of mineral that's mixed in with the salt. It's supposed to be more superfoody, I guess. It's all natural. We have not put anything in as a chemical yet. Now we need 2 cups of milk. 2 cups. What does 2 cups look like? It literally will tell you on here what is a cup. 2 cups is right under the word Pyrex. Should always smell your milk. Should also smell your milk as well. Make sure that hasn't gone sour. Okay, that's 2 cups of milk. Alright. Oh. Now, we put our handy dandy space age cover on, clamp it down. You don't want this hitting the ceiling. Make sure your spout is closed, and now we're going to throw this onto the blender. And we're probably going to put it on, I like a smoothie blend, so what it does is it goes and it will mix it all together. Why am I doing it like this versus the way most people do it? Is it gets it all nice mixed together. Plus, if you're doing a bigger batch, you can do the bigger batch together. So let's throw that on a blender. Okay, so that's it for the blending part. Now we're going to actually transition over to Mr. Stovetop. So as you can tell, I already put the pot on top of the stove, just so I could just start getting it warmed up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss my whisk in here. Take my blended mixture. Open my spout. Pour it in. Now we got to wash it because we got to use the blender again. And we don't want all the yolkiness in it. Make sure you hold your blade because it will slide out and cause a bigger mess. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. Medium heat, and you got to constantly stir it. It is eggs. So basically what you're doing is you're actually trying to just thicken it up, and then also you want to stir it because of the eggs in here. If anybody who's ever made eggs, or if you've never made eggs before, eggs will harden up and you get chunkiness. You could still drink it when it's chunky. It's just, you know, it's basically like turns into like scrambled egg yolk. Yeah, that's what I call it, scrambled egg yolk. Alright, back to my handy dandy, I call it the tablespoon, you call it a soup spoon. we need is some vanilla. So we're gonna use our brain cells for once in our life, and we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of egg yolk, vanilla into the eggnog. Blend. Brain work. What? No? Who? Where? What? Save the cream. All hail the monkeys. Alright, next ingredient we have here is my nice hard in container nutmeg. Do 1 tablespoon of that. And we're going to do, once I can actually open a jar for once in my life, one tablespoon of cinnamon, and we're going to stir that in. Now this makes my eggnog, alright, now I can't stop saying it. This makes my egg yolk a little browner than normal, but hey, it's all natural coloring, right? How do we know it's all natural? Because we're using all natural spices, such as my ground nutmeg. It is listed as ingredients, freshly ground nutmeg. Done. Period. Simple. My next one. Cinnamon grounded. Freshly ground cinnamon. Organic, obviously. Everything says organic on it. Let's see. Does not contain and was not treated with IA radiation, ETHO, which is ethanol oxide, or PPO, which is propylene oxide. They actually put it on the container that it wasn't treated with it, right? So that means that there's chemicals that are in the other shit. But it's just cinnamon. You could get a cinnamon stick and grind it down yourself. It's not easy, but you know, you get the bowl, the bowl that's made of stone, and you just hit it with a hammer or mallet, and just ground it up that way, I guess. Pants keep falling off my ass. I walk 2 feet, they slide off my ass. Even like the vanilla extract. Okay? Vanilla bean extracts in water, period. No gum, no garciconobia, no carniboax, no petroleum excites, nothing. None of that shit. If you actually look at some of the shit that you used to buy for years, like we did, like vanilla, we used to buy this for years and put it on pancakes until we started the diet. Then we actually started looking into it and realizing that the stuff we were putting on our pancakes, well, 90% of that meal wasn't even real. Makes your life feel better, right? So we're stirring and we're stirring and we're stirring and we're stirring. Now a lot of people, they like to do the thermometer. The back of the spoon works as well. You dip your spoon in, you pull it out. And once it gets thick, it can do the trick. Now thick in a lot of people's minds is a little thicker than this, but basically, once you start feeling where it feels like it's going to start kind of cooking to the pan, that's when it's time to pull out your pants. Pull out the pan. Pull the pot off the stove. Stop doing pot. Whoa. And we're stirring 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 and we're stirring, and we're stirring and we're stirring and we're stirring and we're stirring. Oh, weather outside is frightful, and my house is so delightful. I got nowhere to go. Let an earthquake open up, and it swallows all the assholes who prefer to text and drive. Instead of paying attention, they rather risk my life. Man, people texting and driving these days is fucking getting worse and worse. Being somebody who actually doesn't do it, because I drive very interesting vehicles, so unfortunately with that being I drive very interesting and non-boring jelly bean vehicles, I can't text and drive because I could just hit one bump on the highway and the phone goes out the window. So that, and also it's stupid too. I have nobody to text. I have nobody important enough in my life that I have to text. You know, it's not like I'm on command with like NORAD, you know. Even that, I'd probably have a phone and a video, you know, machine in my truck. That sounded like I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's getting to the thickness that I prefer calling thick. A lot of people are like, oh, once it touches the back of your spoon, if you're good to go. Oh, once the thermometer hits 92 degrees, you're good to pull it out. Or like my mama does, she sticks her nose in a hot pot and gets it on her nose. Once her skin's burnt, she knows it's right. People out there are freaking dumb. I'll show you how it's ready. Alright, when you're about to fart, that's how you know it's ready. Alright, see how it's kind of got that literally looking like it's about to start turning into jello. See how it's this right here? How this is kind of all thick. This is thick. So this stage here is another stage where basically we run the risk of the eggs becoming hard. So even though I pulled it off, I still want to stir it. So this is where we keep stirring. Keep stirring. Keep blending. We're 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 blending. It's like oatmeal right now. You go different ways, you know, you go clockwise, counterclockwise. You know, you do that with your tongue, your whisk. You whisk your tongue left or right. Okay. Now, what do? Well, one of the biggest things is that people will go, okay, now you take your mixture and you stick it in your fridge. Wrong. Let me tell you why you don't do that. For starters, that is 32 some odd fucking degrees in there, okay? It's a cold refrigeration area. You're taking a hot pot with a hot liquid that has steam coming off of it. As you can see right now in the footage. Just there, you can see the steam. It's going to steam more in there. So now what you're doing is you're adding the heat and the steam inside the refrigerator, which is the worst thing. Because everything that's in the vicinity of it gets fucked. You got milk, you got creams, you got all different types of shit. Which reminds me, I should put them away. You got milks, you got creams, you got food, you got stuff in your freezer. All of this is going to get affected by this right here. Now, I'm going to show you something that I do with mine. And you guys can see. See how mine got nice like oatmeal chunky? Okay? That's what happens when you cook it for just a little bit too long. And what happens is the egg gets a little chunkier. Now, when I finally finish making this actually won't be chunky anymore. But at this stage, this is the egg, the milk, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, and the vanilla, and the sugar is all mixed into one. So now what I'm going to do is I can get rid of my whisk. I can shut my burner off so I don't burn my arm. And now I'm going to let this sit out. I'm going to let this sit out until there's no heat around it and it stops steaming. Okay? I could also take it from this pot and I could put it into another pot, which will also help slow down the process, actually slow down the speed up the cooling. I don't know which way my brain wants to work. I feel like I'm on a highway with two fucking forks in the road and I don't know which one to take. That's why I said two forks. It's two forks there and two forks there. So, gonna let it cool down out here. Once that's ready, then we'll put it in the refrigerator. Jesus Christ. I can run for president now. So probably about an hour and a half or so sitting out. And then probably like 3 or 4 hours sitting in there. Once it's done, we'll pick up that video from where we go on from there. Other than that, that is part 1. You're blending, you got 5 eggs, you got half a cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 cups of milk, and some parts to a Mustang GT. Then I whisked the blend in and I mixed it till it got thick. 2 spoons of vanilla, 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and half a fucking sleep. Anyway, that's part 1 of Mike's noggin. Noggin. Yeah. Getting skinnier. It's hard to tell. I got my pants pulled up all the way, you know. I got to that age of my life where I keep pulling them up higher and higher. Because by the time I go from here back to the couch, they're on the floor. So, that's it. Losing weight, feeling good. That's it. This elf on the shelf will be back.